Well, welcome back to part 2 of creating your own happiness. And I left off in the last segment, in segment 1, when I mentioned about getting in tune with yourself. And each and every one of us have a story. Some of us like our story and some of us don't, for a different reason. But our stories help to get us before others. Meaning, you're probably saying, well, I'm not into the business of speaking or anything like that. However, in everyday relationships, each and every one of us go through different situations and circumstances in our lives. And it is only when we share our stories that we connect with others and we begin to make friends. A lot of times people separate themselves from us because they think, oh, you know, they don't know what I've been through. Trust me, you never know what another person goes through until you start sharing your story with them. Our story is like a continuous flowing river. It keeps going and keeps going. It starts when we were kids and then we get to teenage and that, and we keep adding to our stories. And that is what connects us to people. So don't be reluctant, don't be ashamed, don't be afraid to share your stories. I know that each and every time that I share my story with someone, it helps us to bond more, because it doesn't matter what disasters you have been through, you can always connect with somebody, and somebody is waiting to share your story and to find out what they can do about their situation. I mentioned a little bit about love and loving yourself in the last segment. And there's a quote here that says, love reciprocates love. Feel it, live it, enjoy it, and receive it. Ladies, this one is for you. A lot of times we get our hearts broken and we just put a chain on a lock and we cement it off because we say no more. We don't want to open our hearts to anybody else. If that happened, let us put it behind us and let us open. So each and every day we wake up, we need to say, I'm open and ready to receive. So at the same time we're saying we are open and ready to receive this love, we need to be exuding. Just put the love out there and we will in turn attract it to ourselves. We got to be happy. We got to be joyful. We have people want to be around us. Once you're happy and you're joyful, you're contagious. People wants to be around you. People will probably say, oh, he or she is the life of the party. Yes, and that's the repetition you want to have because you want to attract people around you. Life has a new meaning when lived in the moment. So each and every moment you have, you need to treasure it. We don't know how long we have. We see now what we are here on this broadcast and we are talking right now. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. We don't know what's going to happen later on. So we must enjoy this moment. Give it 125%. 200%. Give it your all. This way you will not live in regrets. It is the here and now that will determine everything in our lives. Make new meanings. Make them your own imprint, your own longings, but let them be your own. Happiness in itself will follow. Once we go out there and we enjoy this moment, we take time to enjoy the rain, the sun, the birds, the trees, all the things that nature has to give us. We are taking the time to enjoy that. And once we do that, we cannot avoid happiness. We can't avoid happiness because we are going out there and we are taking the time and we are just enjoying the little things around us. You know, it could be the snowflakes, the raindrops, whatever it is. Take the time to enjoy it. Know that this moment is what we have. All we have is the now. Tomorrow and later on is never promised to us. What we have is the now and we need to enjoy it. Don't live in regret. You are allowed to make mistakes. Life is but a learning experience. So we are all in school. Surprise! A lot of people probably say, oh, well, I'm too old to go to school. Every day you wake up and you are breathing the oxygen, you are in school, the school of life. Because so long as you walk through your front door, you are in school. Even sometimes you lock yourself away inside. If you don't live alone, you have pets, you live with other family members, you are learning something. So let it count. Spend every moment. If something goes wrong, so what? You enjoy the moment. Oh, this happened, but this was what happened out of it. I got this from the result. And you laugh at yourself. You laugh at yourself and say, well, you know, if I am faced with the opportunity again, I know not to do it this way. But don't be too hard on yourself. Don't go beating up on yourself. Just know that you're allowed to make some mistakes. Nobody is perfect. No matter how much you think you're perfect, no, you are not. We are in school each and every day. Overcome your fears. They are a fragment of someone else's insecurities. Your childhood traumas are perhaps coming from those around you. Yes, there are lots of us, myself included, who sometimes are hearing all the chatter from your childhood or early adulthood in our life that is telling us you can't do this or you can't do that, or a woman doesn't do this, if you're black you can't do that, and the list goes on and on and on. You got to know that you have the responsibility to remove yourself from those statements and those situations, knowing that those statements that were intended for you, you have now separated yourself from it, and it does not apply to you, because you know that you are created in the greatness of God, and God don't make no mediocre person. So you can enjoy it. You can become any and all that your heart desire. Any and all. You look in the mirror and you tell the person looking back at you that you can become all that my heart desire. And there's absolutely nothing that will prevent me from doing that. It is up to you. You got to know that you can't allow people to rain on your parade. Most importantly, strive to be loved rather than to do the loving. The power lies within you. Don't hold back. Don't be stingy. Be generous. You know, God knows that there are some people, even our own family, sometimes it's challenging to love them. But we got to know that we are not doing this for them. We are doing it for ourselves. It is like a lot of times when people go out and they volunteer, if they work with the elderly or the handicapped or something, and they go out and they are looking as if they are going to do for the person. But when they see how their help was received, they end up getting the blessing more than the person that they went out to do the work for. And it's the same thing. Give the love, because you are going to leave feeling so good. Know that you cannot outgive the universe. It doesn't matter how we try, it doesn't matter how much we give. We cannot outgive God. We cannot outgive the universe, because it is always giving us so much back. Discover your passions and follow it, and this will create for you many more bounties. Many, many more bounties. Yes, it doesn't matter how old you are. I was privileged last week. Well, no, it's more than last week now because this is airing. But late last year, I was privileged to attend a conference overseas, and I was privileged to meet a female astronaut. And when she came to the United States from Russia, and when she was age 4, she drew a picture of a spaceship and a rocket, because she always wanted to be an astronaut. And as she shared her story with all of us at the event, she said, we came to the United States from Russia without green card, and she said she thought she would never have the opportunity to go to space, but she never gave up her dream. And she went to college and she studied to be an engineer. But in her office, all the decor had to do with spaceship and shuttle and rocket. And at age 40, she was offered an opportunity to go study at the school for astronauts. And she went there. And while she was studying there was a mission going to space, and she said it saddened her heart because she couldn't go, but she was still glad for the 90 days training that she got there. And when she was leaving the training in Moscow and heading to the airport to come back to America, she got a call, and the person on the other end asked her if she wanted to go to space. And she said she thought they were teasing her, and she said, don't make jokes like that, because you know how serious that means for me. And the person said no, and they named the name of the astronaut that she would have been replacing, because the gentleman that was one of the 3 that should have been going took sick, and he had some problem with his kidneys and he could not go. And for that moment, as she gave this speech to us at this conference, her logo for what she does now is that same drawing from she was 4 years old. And she never gave up on her dream, and it touched me so much. And if you are listeners to my radio show, you should be listening that, and you're going to hear her on there, because she's going to be on my radio show talking about her story. And I'm sharing that to tell you that happiness is part of holding on to your dreams, regardless of how long you take to accomplish it. It doesn't matter whether you are age 30 or 35. It does not matter. Hold on to your dream. Be happy about it and visualize yourself accomplishing the goals and the dreams that you have set out for yourselves. There are some quotes that I got here, and I want to read them for you because they they are some things that you can put in your toolkit and use to help you to create your happiness. Don't cry because it's over. Smile because it happened. And that's from Dr. Seuss. The paradox commandment. People are ideological, unreasonable, and self-centered. Love them anyway. If you do good, people will accuse you of selfish, ulterior motives. Do good anyway. If you are successful, you will win false friends and true enemies. Succeed anyhow. Honesty and frankness make you vulnerable. Be honest and frank anyway. The biggest men and women with the biggest ideas can be shot down by the smallest men and women with the smallest minds. Think big anyway. People favor underdogs, but follow only top dogs. Fight for a few underdogs anyway. What you spent years building may be destroyed overnight. Build anyway. People rarely need help, but may attack you if you do help them. Help them anyway. Give the world the best you have, and you will get kicked in the teeth. Give the world the best you have anyway. Ralph Waldo Emerson says, for every minute you are angry, you lose 60 seconds of happiness. I think this one I need to repeat. For every minute you are angry, you lose 60 seconds of happiness. So don't spend your time being angry. We oftentimes hear people say, don't go to sleep with your wrath. So, yes, things will happen, but don't hold on to your anger. Love is that condition in which the happiness of another person is essential to your own. And I think I had shared that at the opening section of the first episode. People are just as happy as they make up their minds to be, and that was from Abraham Lincoln. So, you see, there are so many affirmation from all forefathers talking about that. You want to be happy? You make a decision to be happy. You want to be unhappy? That decision is also yours. So the ball is in your court. You decide on the game you want to play. It is so hard to forget pain, but it's even harder to remember sweetness. We have no scars to show for happiness. We learn so little from peace. Happiness is when what you think, what you say, and what you do are in harmony. I think that's another one too that I need to repeat. Happiness is when you think, what you say, and what you do are in harmony. So in other words, you got to watch your mouth. You know, sometime back I did a segment called How is Your Mouth Serving You? And we just need to know that whatever we are saying must line up here, here, and here. Here, here, here. Here, here, here. Everything has to be in harmony. Okay? Happiness in intelligent people is the rarest thing I know. Ernest Hemingway, that quote is from. Mahatma Gandhi, 7 deadly sins. Wealth without work, pleasure without conscience, science without humanity, knowledge without character, politics without principles, commerce without normality, worship without sacrifice. And I know if you are listening and you are someone that practices Christianity, you know that in the Christianity community, sin is a word that is often thrown around. And you need to define what that is for you. So these were the 7 deadly sins as chosen to share by Mahatma Gandhi. Happiness is not something ready-made. It comes from your own action, and that's from the Dalai Lama. So we got to make our own happiness. You will never be happy if you continue to search for what happiness consists of. You will never live if you are looking for a meaning of life. Albert Camus, that quote is from. And the great John Lennon says, count your age by friends, not years. Count your life by smiles, not tears. And I want to share this piece of poetry with you. Promise yourself to be strong that nothing can disturb your peace of mind, to talk health, happiness, and prosperity to every person you meet, to make all friends feel that there is something in them, to look at the sunny side of everything, and make your optimism come true. Think only the best, to work only for the best, and to expect only the best. To be just as enthusiastic about the success of others as you are about your own. To forget the mistakes of the past and press on to the greater achievements of the future. To wear a cheerful countenance at all times and give every living creature you meet a smile. To give so much time to the improvement of yourself that you have no time to criticize others. To be too large for worry, too noble for anger, too strong for fear, and too happy to permit the presence of trouble. To think well of yourself and to proclaim this fact to the world, not in a loud words, but great deeds. To live in faith that the whole world is on your side, so long as you are true to the best that is in you. Remember, Happiness is not something that you can go into the department stores and order. Happiness is not something that your spouse, your children, your siblings, your community is obligated to make a grand entry and present to you. Happiness is dependent on you. You have the power and the responsibility to create your own happiness. I think you ought to love yourself enough to know that I will no longer neglect and deprive myself from happiness. Ladies and gentlemen, it is never too late for a new beginning. And I just pray that this 2014 will be the most powerful and the happiest days of your life. If you are not yet connected with me, I want you to connect with me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and all the others. And I want you to tune in and listen to my radio show on Blog Talk Radio. We are on twice a week. We are on Wednesday mornings, 10 to 12, and Sunday nights at 7 p.m. And you can also take advantage of the downloads. We are on iTunes. And you can download them on your smartphone. And let us hear from you. We are looking for a few good men and women to volunteer here with us at Comcast to help us to produce the show. So if you have one day a month that you can volunteer 2 hours, we are looking for your help. Training is provided here. You get a certificate, you get quality training, which will help you to become more marketable. This is knowledge that it's not going to cost you anything, and you can have that to put on your resume. So we are looking for you to volunteer here. We can get families that come in. Doesn't matter of your age. We are looking for your help. I love you, and thank you for all your support. Stay blessed.